Well, welcome
Good
everyone.
morning.
My name is Maggie Abdallah. I'm with Bennett Mercado Hospitality. I'm the director of sales, and we are lucky today to have our co-president and founder, Beatrice Mercado, with us to kind of go over the luxury collection within the Crown Champa Resorts in the Maldives. Thank you, Beatrice, for getting up nice and early for us.
Good morning from Los Angeles, California. Hello, everyone. I'm Beatrice Mercado. If we've not had a chance to meet, I'm based in California, and it's great to see so many active participants joining us on this live webinar. I'm going to ask if everyone can just take your videos down, turn your cameras off, make sure you're on mute. Happy to also answer any questions. You can submit them in the chat, and we'll make sure that we get through them at the end of this presentation. But yes, today we're going to be talking about the Maldives and what you can expect today. I'm going to go give an overview of the destination as well as a virtual journey to these incredible luxury properties with Crown and Champa Resorts. I'm going to anticipate about 30 minutes for our presentation and leave some time at the end for Q&A. And today, I know I promised a giveaway, a multi-night giveaway to the Maldives. So anyone who's joining me live today, we're going to provide a raffle next week where you can win a complete stay in the Maldives, accommodations, meal plans, transportation. So thank you for joining me live. Well, let's get started. So Crown and Champa Resorts is the largest collection of hotels in the Maldives. I know there are many options when booking this destination. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Maldives, and then we'll go ahead and give an overview of Crown and Champa. But here is an overview of how the islands are structured. And to get to the Maldives from the United States, you can really plan to expect 24 hours of travel time to get from the United States all the way to Male, which is our main international airport. You'll see that here on the left side of the map with a star. And the Maldives is comprised of 26 natural atolls, anywhere from all the way to the south to the north to get from one island to the next, either by speedboat or seaplane. But when to get to Male, the main connection points from the United States, primarily Doha or Dubai. You can also have incredible options from Istanbul and Singapore. Those are the main international connection points that have multiple connections to Male. But of course, you can get to the Maldives via Madrid, via London, many areas around the world. It is truly a global destination. Once you arrive to Male, we do have a team at the airport to make sure that your travelers know where to get their speedboat or their seaplane. Those are the two transfer options once you get to Male City. Just a little bit of history of Crown and Champa. Did you know the Maldives was a tourist destination established 53 years ago? And 53 years ago, one of the founders of Crown and Champa was actually that individual that greeted the first tourist to the Maldives, and they came from Italy. Why I share that with you is to, convey that Crown and Champa has been operating and promoting tourism to the Maldives. They really are the pioneers in tourism for the past 53 years. And you can see here their history and timeline of the properties that they've opened and established throughout the past 5 decades. Today, I'm just going to talk about their luxury collection. And in terms of the travelers that come to the Maldives, before I started working with Crown and Champa, I often thought that the Maldives was this dream destination for mainly special occasion travelers. But boy, am I wrong. Specifically, post-pandemic, we've seen all types of guests come and enjoy the beautiful islands in the Maldives. So you will always have your special occasion guests, your couples, but so many families are coming to the Maldives now. And of course, post-pandemic, we're seeing multiple groups, friends celebrating milestones, birthdays, not just special occasion travelers. So there is something for everyone. And while I'm talking about the luxury collection with Crown and Champa today, in terms of price points, there really is an option for every traveler, ranging from four-star properties and even to that ultimate, we're calling it a six-star resort island destination. All right, so today, again, an overview of our luxury group. We'll talk about Kudadoo, Hurawalhi, Kagi, Veligandu, Nala, which is our newest resort, as well as Jawakara. All of these properties fall under the Crown and Champa umbrella. I know the Maldivian names can be a little overwhelming at times, so try your best to follow along, but know that the main collection is called Crown and Champa. I'll get started with our best-in-class property called Kudadoo. To get to Kudadoo from Male, you'll have to take a seaplane to the northern Laviani Atoll. And what you can expect from Kudadoo is the ultimate destination. The concept here is anything, anytime, anywhere. It's an exclusive private island of just 15 villas. 13 of them are one-bedroom residences. I call them residences because they're very spacious. And then we also have, on each end of this horseshoe, we have two-bedroom units. You can book these villas individually, or we are also getting a number of requests for a complete island buyout. But this property is, I'd like to classify it for your high roller, for your traveler that expects everything that they have at home to be applied no matter where they are in the world. So they'll have their own dedicated personal butler. Um, Everything here is curated to the guests' preferences. They never have to sign a check. So if they're arriving late and they want to have steak and eggs at 2 in the morning, the answer is yes. Unlimited dining, no matter where on Kudadoo. Unlimited excursions, meaning you can go on a boating trip every day. You can go diving one day, you can go on a sunset dolphin sail the next day, you can go fishing. All of that is included. So your traveler here has those expectations wherever they are in the world, and it's curated here at Kudadoo Maldives. In terms of wellness, again, same thing. Unlimited spa, unlimited wellness. You can have a private yoga class in the morning. You can have a spa treatment and then head off onto your sunset sail in the afternoon, followed by your own private beach dinner set up and curated by the executive chef. So Kudadoo, Maldives, it's for your ultimate high roller. What I love about Kudadoo is their commitment to sustainability. Crown and Champa is truly a company that wants to preserve the Maldives, takes care of their people. They do a lot for the local community. And I think you will see in this presentation what they're doing in terms of sustainability and climate change. You'll see this rooftop panel on the bottom right of my screen. That's the rooftop panel on our main resort retreat, which houses the spa, our reception, our main restaurant. And this property is 100% powered by solar. So truly remarkable that they can really have this commitment, again, in preserving their destination and really helping our planet. One of the other things is you'll never find a plastic bottle with Crown and Champa. And all of our islands, all of our resorts are on natural atolls. That's really important for me to share if you've not been to the Maldives. A lot of big luxury brands do have resorts here. And I encourage you to ask all the right questions, especially if I'd like to think this is important to anyone traveling the world. But these man-made island resorts that are popping up and that are new and that are being developed in the Maldives, they're really harming the coral reef. So with Crown and Champa, every property we have is on a natural island. We want to preserve the coral reef. Of course, we want to preserve this destination for guests to come. In terms of dining in the Maldives, you'll have multiple meal plan options, but remember here at Kudadoo, anything, anytime, anywhere. There's no meal plan. You tell us what your guests want to enjoy. You as travel advisors, if you have a high roller guest that wants a specific beverage, a specific snack, if you can give us 72 hours notice, we'll make sure that we get that available for them here at Kudadoo. So in this aerial view, you'll also see a sandbank in the middle of this image. That's called Dream Island. And then on top of this photo, you'll see another resort by Crown and Champa called Hurawalhi. And one thing I want to share about guests staying at Kudadoo is they also have complimentary transportation and access to the restaurants at Hurawalhi. It's really important to get the resort right when you're selecting a property for your traveler, because if we don't select the right resort, all of your guests have to come back to Male to get to that next resort. So it's important to ask all the right questions. My team is here as a resource for you to make sure that it's the right match. So from Kudadoo, most islands you'll be staying in your own resort island, but guests here again can access all the dining options at Hurawalhi. So I'm going to take you over to Hurawalhi next. It's just a 10-minute boat ride from Kudadoo. Guests at Hurawalhi cannot access Kudadoo. So just remember that Kudadoo guests can go to Hurawalhi, but it does not work vice versa. Now, this resort is for an adults only retreat. And if you're looking at this image on the left, I think this is a very iconic photo of Hurawalhi. This is our underwater restaurant called 5.8, which is signifies the depth in meters underwater. And there are only three underwater restaurants in the world. This is actually the largest with 10 tables, and it's the only one that is a complete, fully enclosed glass restaurant. So you can really be immersed in the marine life during the daytime. And we also have an option to dine here at dinner. But what I love about Hurawalhi, it is a seamless operation. This is the resort that's probably mostly requested from American travelers. Whereas Maldives is a complete global destination, I see more and more American travelers here. So thank you to everyone on this webinar for all the business that you've sent to Hurawalhi. You can see in this image, that's the second experience at 5.8. This is the dinner option. So 5-course option for lunch and a 7-course option for dinner. You can see that the marine life's a little bit bigger. The setting is quite different. And the options for this 5.8 restaurant, we cater to all types of dietary requests. So vegetarian, seafood, vegan even, anything that your clients have in terms of dietary preferences, you can definitely alert us. This restaurant is a la carte, so there is an additional surcharge. Guests coming from Kudadoo can dine at any of the other restaurants. It's included in their Kudadoo experience. This would be an additional surcharge because it is truly iconic. In terms of marine life, a lot of travelers come to the Maldives wanting to explore the Coral City, wanting to go diving. And the Maldives, yes, definitely a top destination for those that want to be in the ocean. Here in the Laviani Atoll, you'll see so many manta rays coming through this part of the Maldives. So we do our marine biology center. We work closely with the mantas, an experience that I highly recommend. All of our resorts have a full service spa. And when you're not in the ocean, multiple activities on the island. Here at Hurawalhi, you'll have football, paddle tennis, as well as a tennis court in addition to the spa, and as well as all the water activities. Here at Hurawalhi, you have options for being on the beach, being over the water. The categories really vary. Think of it this way. Either you're on the beach, or you're over the water, and either you have a pool or not. Those are primarily the different categories. Before I visited the Maldives, all I ever envisioned in my head was staying over water. So I know American travelers, when they think about this destination, the overwater experience is probably the primary request. I encourage you to offer a split stay. Let's say you're booking a week. I would recommend at least a week from the United States. We don't take off enough here in the US, but if they can come to the Maldives, at minimum 1 week is what I would like to suggest. But perhaps you can suggest a split stay, a few nights over water, and then a few nights over beach. So that is Hurawalhi. Multiple meal plan options for US American travelers. I definitely want to recommend the full board because, again, it's not like you can leave your island and have lunch down the street to another property. American travelers, you're pretty much just staying here. The dining options are excellent. Food is sourced from multiple areas of the world. Of course, seafood, local caught fish, very fresh for you. And as I mentioned earlier, we can really cater to any type of dietary requests. Moving on, we're going to go to Kagi. Kagi is still a fairly new property. It opened just about 4 or 5 years ago, and it is a speedboat ride from Male. So if your clients and your travelers have some hesitation getting on a seaplane, there are many resorts accessible by speedboat. Just some of the things I want to share, being transparent with travel advisors. When you're sending your clients to a speedboat property, that is probably where the most number of resorts are located because it's easy to access. So getting to a resort that is accessible by seaplane, you'll definitely have more privacy. You won't really see other resorts nearby. But when you're getting to a property that's accessible by speedboat, you will see other resort speedboats driving by the property and definitely on your transfer to your private island. But Kagi Maldives, accessible by speedboat, just about an hour. It's the same architect as Kudadoo, so very modern, contemporary Japanese. And it's only 50 villas. Some of the questions you want to ask your travelers is, do they want a small island or a large island? Do they want a lot of activity or do they want to just be private and be there with their companion? Again, we want to make sure we match the right resort with your traveler. Kagi opened up as a wellness resort, so we do have a lot of programming here. Yoga, sound baths. When I was there, they had a doctor from Bhutan that was performing cupping on guests. So rotating wellness programming throughout the year. And in my opinion, I love this house reef around Kagi. Kagi has probably the most colorful house reef. Again, a natural island. So if you have a traveler that is an avid snorkeler, they just put their head in that ocean and they'll see a complete technicolor of marine life. I had the chance to swim with sea turtles, sharks, and it really is an incredible experience to go snorkeling or diving in the Maldives. Two aspects about Kagi that I want to convey. Every category here has their own private pool. And Kagi was the first resort in the Maldives to have their own pickleball court. I know it's a popular sport now and you can access it pretty much anywhere around the world. But for your pickleball lovers, we do have it right here at Kagi, an incredible ocean view. So that is Kagi, 50 villas, beach or pool options, great for spa and wellness. We don't have a dedicated children's program here, but we definitely welcome all ages at this resort. Multiple meal plan options, but like I mentioned, I always want to recommend a full board for your American traveler. If they are interested in adding alcoholic beverages, we do have our premium all-inclusive where they will have really unlimited access to all types of beverages. Moving on to Veligandu. Veligandu is a legendary property. It's been there for many, many decades. Crown Champa did take some time to close the resort to undergo a renovation of all the public space, as well as building these incredible new modern villas. Also, incredible sustainability achievements here. You can see the new modern ocean villas we have on the top left of my screen. Solar panels on the roof, really generating power for the villas as well as the resort. But what I love about Veligandu is because they've been around for so many years, our staff, our guests, the service here, so seamless. When we reopened the property just about a little bit over a year ago, it was like clockwork. So you can expect excellent service. What I love about their meal plan is they have something called the all-inclusive dine around, and that allows your travelers to dine at an a la carte restaurant. Whereas most of our resorts on our full board meal plan, you're enjoying a really incredible spread on a luxury resort buffet. But here at Veligandu, you're going to a restaurant and you're picking off the menu, just like if you were at a really incredible standalone dining establishment. So this property here, all-inclusive dine around in addition to all the multiple meal plan options. For those who want to be in the ocean, great hammerhead sharks around Veligandu. If your travelers are coming for diving or to see marine life, please reach out because depending on the region of the Maldives, the marine life really varies. So here around Veligandu, we'll have hammerhead sharks. By Kudadoo and Hurawalhi, we have manta rays. In the southern Ari Atoll, there are whale sharks that you can access year-round. So let's just make sure we connect to make sure that we convey all the beautiful experiences to you. So here are the interiors of Veligandu, Maldives. And in terms of activities, aside from being in the ocean, same as before, pickleball, paddle tennis, tennis, and multiple options in the water as well. Moving along to something that is really unique in the Maldives, which is Jawakara. If you're looking at this image, maybe you can already see how this differs from the other ones that I've showed you. This concept is two islands, two private resort islands connected by a bridge. Do you remember earlier how I said we got to get the resort right? Because if we don't get it right, they have to go back to Male by speedboat or seaplane, and we got to take care of that transfer. The great thing about Jawakara is you have two resort islands that your traveler can experience. One on the southern part of this image has 88 villas. On the northern island, which is the larger island, is 202 villas. A beautiful large island. And I share this with you because just not too long ago, I told you about Kagi having 50 villas. I walked around the island of Kagi in 5 minutes. Here at Jawakara, it's great for your travelers who want to walk along a beautiful beach, who every guest here has their own set of bicycles that they can ride around these two islands. So great for travelers who want long walking beach activities, seeing other guests because of this large island vibe. I mean, it's really great for celebrations, for groups of friends traveling together. Multiple activities here at Jawakara. The options for accommodations are beach or over water. But the great thing about Jawakara is we really do very well with children and teenagers. We have multiple villas with 2 and 3 bedroom accommodations, private pools. We have a full dedicated Jawa Kids Club. We have this climbing wall, and for all ages, we have a nine hole golf course, a driving range, a simulator. The activities here are really endless. So start trying to think about what's your traveler desiring to do when they're in the Maldives? Small island, large island? Do they want to be in the water or do they want to have something to do on land every day? This bridge here, you can access it by your own private bicycle, on foot, or also your private island host can also take you around the island on a golf cart. We have our own marine research center. I learned by working with Crown Champa that a lot of these sea turtles, their shells get injured from the propellers of speedboats. So Crown Champa is doing their best to rehab them, and an incredible marine research center here at Jawakara. Again, multiple accommodations. Let's speak to make sure that we get it right. But the accommodations here are still fresh and new. Lots of natural wood. You have your own island host that will organize your day for you, organize your activities, your where you want to have dinner tonight, what time do you want to play at the pickleball court. And in terms of meal plans, the same thing, multiple options. But just as a reminder, please book that full board, if not the premium all-inclusive for your American traveler. Some of the things I want to share about this part of the Maldives. This is the area called Laviani. So Jawakara is in the same atoll as Hurawalhi, the same atoll as Kudadoo, and also Nala, which I'll talk about in a moment. So the typical guests will come here by seaplane, but there's also a domestic airport that is nearby Jawakara, Nala. And the reason I share that is if you have a big group that you're trying to book at Jawakara, the seaplanes can only hold, I think, 12 to 18 passengers. You can take a commercial flight from Male to the domestic airport near Jawakara and take a speedboat from there. So we're able to cater to larger groups or perhaps individuals with a lot of luggage. So we do have multiple options to get to this part of the Maldives. Lastly, I want to talk about Nala. Nala, it says here opening soon, but that's a lie. It actually opened last month. Nala, Maldives is near Jawakara, and the difference here is it's for adults only. So, guests here who are celebrating a special occasion, or perhaps just want to have an adults only retreat, come stay at Nala. And guess what? It's just a quick speedboat ride to Jawakara if they did want all that activity and all that entertainment. So Nala just opened in December. Brand new accommodations, multiple meal plan options, multiple activities on land here. But remember, you also have access to Jawakara if they did want a little bit more. I forgot to mention about Jawakara real quick. In the evening, there's entertainment pretty much nightly. So you're talking about live music, acoustic guitar, DJ music. They also have a glow up night. So multiple evening experiences, multiple activities at Jawakara, which is also now accessible with Nala. Wow, that was a big overview, Maggie. What do you think? How did I do?
Great. And we do have some questions that I wanted to kind of get to if you're all right with jumping right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First of all, what is the surcharge for the to dine in the 5.8 restaurant in Hurawalhi?
Yes, so the lunch and dinner options vary. Lunch, I want to say, is at 250 per person. Dinner, I believe it's at 320 per person. Dinner is a 7 course meal. You can also pair that with wine pairings if you'd like. But again, 10 tables for lunch and dinner, 5 course for lunch, 7 course for dinner with wine pairings as an optional add-on, and catering really to any dietary restriction. I recommend we book it in advance. Um,
Yes.
because it is really iconic. And as I mentioned to you, guests from Kudadoo can also dine there, even though it's available at Hurawalhi.
Very good. Next question is, what are the ages, demographics of clients for Crown and Champa Resorts, or the resorts, the luxury collection?
So all ages are welcome.
Hmm.
As I've shared with the 6 properties that we have in our luxury collection, some of them are adults only, but some of them cater really well to children. Um, it really depends on what the family dynamics and what they desire to achieve. In my opinion, I thought Jawakara was a slam dunk for families. Not just the children's program, but the game room. I mean, I can't wait to go back and take my kids and take them on that 9-hole golf course and have them do that climbing wall and also play in the arcade with them. But if you're a high rolling family, you have a baby or a small child and you want to stay at Kudadoo, they're welcome there. There's just no dedicated children's program across the board, which is why I think Jawakara, for those that want a scheduled activity, that would be my best recommendation. But all ages are welcome, and I think the Maldives being such a global central destination, I mean, we're seeing all types of guests here, Maggie.
Yes, and I encourage everyone to reach out to one of us to kind of best match the resort to your clients based on what how they travel, what they like and they don't like. Some guests, it's an absolutely not getting on a seaplane. That will rule out some of these resorts, but there's definitely a resort that would be a good fit. Next question is, in some resorts, under bungalow lights are left on to attract fish, which I do not support for a few reasons. Can you elaborate if that's done at any of the properties in Crown and Champa?
Mm, great question. I don't know the answer to that. I know that I was trying to turn off my lights outside at night. But whoever asked that question, let me get back to you.
It's a
Um,
very good
I'd,
question,
I'd
yeah.
like to think that Crown and Champa is really doing their best to preserve the marine life, but let me find the right answer for you.
And the next question, similar to lights, are light switches individually handled, or is it the on and off, or all on or all off situation when you enter your bungalow?
Oh my gosh, isn't that a pet peeve? Like not being able to turn off your lights. You can manually turn off lights on and off individually. There are villas that have a master light, but you can turn them on and off. And your butler can walk you through with all the buttons, depending on the resort. But yeah, you can control each of them.
Very good. Next question is regarding guest use of drones, or if that is allowed to the properties. Not for
Yes.
photographer, but for marine life and all that kind of stuff.
Wow, so many good questions.
I know.
I know that guests have had used drone footage, so I know that we can do it. Do we need to get permission? I need to find out.
Hmm.
Um, but I do have even travel advisors that have taken their drones for footage. So the answer is yes, it's possible. I think we just have
Okay.
to get authorization or permission.
Will Crown and Champa Resorts guarantee that guests can get two over the water villas side by side at the time of booking?
Um, Guarantee is this terrible thing in our hospitality business. But yeah, why don't we say this? If you reach out to me or anyone on my team, we'll get you the answer right up front, whether we can do it or not, depending on availability. I would like to
Hmm.
think yes, especially in an island like Jawakara where we have a lot of multiple options,
Hmm.
families
Hmm.
traveling together. I was there with a group, and we had our villas pretty much all aligned, one after the other. Um, so yeah, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
And remember that Jawakara also has those multiple bedroom villas, up to a 3 bedroom.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it.
The key point is reaching out to us so we can help.
Yeah.
Next question is there a program at the Marine Center for guests?
Yeah, I think I need to provide more information on this because a lot of travelers have asked what can they do to really be actively involved. So I'm pretty sure there is. I'll personally follow up with you in terms of what the guests can do in engagement.
Definitely. Next question is a question I frequently get, Beatrice, that I like to bring up in this kind of setting. Um, what do you think is the best way to book one of the Crown and Champa resorts?
Bennett Mercado always wants to be transparent and do what's right by you as advisors. There are
Hmm.
multiple ways to book the Maldives. In my opinion, I feel that working with a tour operator will provide you, the travel advisor, advantages because you're doing perhaps multiple destinations already and ending in the Maldives. So the tour operator model has been a tremendous supporter to the Maldives for the past 5 decades. So going through them, absolutely, by all means, if you have a preferred operator, reach out to them. Booking direct allows us to really get more control on the reservation, as always, with any one of our resort destinations. And booking direct with Crown Champa, drum roll please, you're getting 15% commission directly to you. So it's really your choice. Tour operator, DMC, really easy to book some of these luxury resorts directly, and you'll get 15% commission. Plus, Maggie and I can guarantee you're connecting nearby villas a little bit more easily. We have a little bit
It,
more control that way.
exactly. Beatrice, I think you may have touched on it, but I always like to just bring it back up and kind of circle back. Minimum night stay you would recommend.
When I was there, I spent at most 12 days the very first time I went. And I didn't feel that was enough time because it takes us 24 hours to get there. By the time you're acclimated, you're probably by day three. But as American travelers, we don't get enough time off of work. So if you can
Hmm.
do at least a week,
Hmm.
please come and stay for at least a week and enjoy the beautiful, pristine destination as the Maldives. Other travelers from around the world, I met people that were there for 3 weeks, Maggie.
Hmm. I
Uh,
know.
they stayed in Kagi for 3 weeks because it felt like their own private island.
Hmm.
So if
And
you
and
can
we
encourage,
have guests that come back year after year, Veligandu especially that come back every year, for long periods of time. So you'd think that they get
exactly.
tired of it, but they don't.
No, it's and if you can stay longer, allow us to help plan a multi-island itinerary for you. Perhaps it is starting at Kagi for your spa and wellness, and then heading over to Nala, the adults only retreat, and then ending up in Hurawalhi, where you can enjoy 5.8 or
Yeah.
even top it off with a complete stay at Kudadoo. So we can really put together multiple resort islands in an itinerary and make it seamless for you if you wanted to go direct or again through your preferred operator.
Excellent. Next question we got was, will we get a recap? Yes, we can absolutely provide a recap of this webinar as well as a link to the recording if you want to reference it in the future, because we are recording this session. It will live in our library, your YouTube library. So, next question we got, is there any age restrictions above which one cannot do scuba or snorkel?
I need to find out. You do need to get obviously have a certification.
Hmm.
Let me get back to you. My gut instinct says 12 and older, but let me get that right. Yeah, so I'll follow up with you on age restrictions. Maggie, I
Last
forgot.
question before you highlight something that you wanted to highlight. Do you have gratuity recommendations?
Ooh, a good one.
I
I
know
love
these
this.
are good
I
questions.
love this question. Okay, American travel advisors. Americans are very prone to providing gratuity. This is being recorded, so I'm going to choose my words wisely. Gratuity is at your discretion, but because it is a global destination, I'd like to share that other travelers from around the world, they don't think like us. So it's really up to you, your traveler, your comfort level, but it's at your discretion. Europeans are coming here, other Asian countries are coming to the Maldives. So think about what they're doing for gratuity. I think Americans are probably the most generous, but it's really up to you. Did I answer that? Okay, Maggie?
Excellent. Very diplomatic.
Okay. Call me offline if you want my real honest answer, but yeah, I hope that was clear.
Yeah.
A couple more things I forgot to mention, Maggie. The seaplane. The seaplane only flies during daylight hours.
Hmm.
So for international arrivals, if you're coming in after sunset, they're probably going to have to stay in Male. So I don't
Hmm.
really want that to happen. So make sure travel agents, when you're booking the flight, arrive early, arrive during daytime hours. The last speedboat and seaplane, I think, around 4 o'clock out of Male.
Hmm. Hmm.
So let's try and get your travelers um, landing in Male before that. I also want to share that when I was in the Maldives in September, I took a bunch of gay travel advisor friends with me. And the reason I did that was I was often asked, like, especially with my community of gay travelers, like, can I go there? It seems unsafe. Like the laws don't really are not really in the favor of many communities. So I want to reassure everyone, you can speak to me. I can also share with you my list of LGBTQ plus travel advisors. Yes, you can absolutely send your gay travelers here. The concept of one island, one resort. We're getting multiple couples, multiple gay families. I actually just booked a gay group because they are enjoying this island and this resort as if it were their own. There are no parameters. We want everyone who comes to the Maldives to experience it and enjoy it in their own truest form.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone. These were excellent questions. Beatrice will get a list of these questions. I think there are a couple items that she will circle back to you directly on. But thank you for the excellent questions. Those are some of the best I've had in a while.
I want to summarize my 30 minutes, if I may.
Please.
All right. So, Crown Champa, authentic Maldivian company. Thank you all for supporting them. I know there are a lot of world-renowned brands in the Maldives, but remember to ask all the right questions. All properties are on natural islands. For your travelers, I want to make sure you ask what is important to them. Small island, large island. What activities do they want to do? Are they strong swimmers? Some of these resorts, depending on the tide and depending on the location of the overwater, I mean, sometimes you might have to be a stronger swimmer than normal. So, are they comfortable in the ocean? What land activities do they want? What do they expect in this dream itinerary that they've been thinking about for the Maldives? Because I want to make sure you, as travel advisors, get it right. And I want to make sure that Crown and Champa is fully prepared to welcome your guests, sharing their preferences, their reason for being there, any nuances in their travel. So make sure you communicate that to us. Year-round destination. Year-round destination. High season is December till April is probably where you'll find rates are at their peak. But I encourage you to think about shoulder season. I think the fall is a great time to come, even the summer. Um, I think it's really a year-round destination. I'm often asked about climate, rainy season. It could be raining in the south and sunny in the north. And the owners of Crown and Champa have shared with me that they can't predict it anymore because over the past 50 years, the rainy season has shifted month to month. So thank you for supporting Crown and Champa, a local, authentic Maldivian company committed to preserving this beautiful destination. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And don't hang up yet because we have some giveaways, right?
Yes, I'm going to do a live giveaway drawing next week. I know I want to thank everyone who joined us live by offering you a chance to have a multi-night stay in the Maldives. I'm going to do it on Instagram live next week, but it is definitely going to include a stay at the new adults only resort in called Nala. I'm also going to add a stay at Kagi. Those are two that I'm guaranteeing right now, and by next week I might add a third. So
Awesome. So all of you, I've recorded and noted that you have attended live. So only those that attended live will get the chance to win that giveaway next week.
yes,
So
and
even if you can't do the Instagram live with us, don't worry. We will reach out to you directly if you're a winner.
yeah, and if you're not a winner, please just reach out anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. We will send follow up with everything so that you have all this information.
Sometimes
And
we
our
have something in our magic hat, right, Maggie? So if you're already going
yeah.
to be in the Maldives, if you're going to be in Sri Lanka, that's also a common one. So if you're
Mhm.
in Sri Lanka, want to extend in the Maldives, just call us. We'll try and make magic happen for you.
Definitely. Definitely. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Beatrice, for a great, great overview. And we look forward to connecting with you further about the Maldives. And we appreciate your time today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.